Look, we all struggle with consistency. We all go through this roller coaster of the things we want, but are we willing to do the things that we need to do to get there? The issue comes down to is you're giving in to justification, to excuses, to allow yourself to not do the things you need to do when you truly know you need to do them. And consistency, what it does, it creates this new story. It creates this new roller coaster in your life, and that roller coaster is a roller coaster of income coming in. It's the roller coaster of emotions that creates the thought that thinks you can't have what you want to have. But it's actually pretty simple on how to stay consistent. It's just hard. It's simple, but it's just hard. So the first thing I got to tell you is stop believing the excuses that you're giving yourself. Stop telling the story that doesn't serve a purpose to power you to create the success and fulfillment you want. And this is how you do it. The first thing is this, and write it down and live by it. Consistency will die without a strong why. Consistency will die without a strong why. See, our purpose powers our progression. Our purpose powers our progression to get to where we want to go. Number two is you gotta set up triggers. Triggers that allow you to take the action to then create the habit. Set up the triggers that allows you to go ahead and progress that day, that week, that month, that year. And last but not least, one of the most important things is you have to ask better questions to get better results. The reason why you're not consistent right now is that you're not willing to ask yourself the questions that need to be asked day in and day out. And here's the one question that changed my life, and if you implement it, I promise it will change yours. Since we are basically the sum of the choices we make, we gotta make better choices that then create consistency, right? So here's the question that will help you make better choices. And that question is simple. And it's this: when faced up against a challenge, when faced up against a decision to be made, you ask yourself, does this get me closer to my goals or further away? Does it get me closer or further away? And then you have to follow it up with the vulnerable question of, why is that important? And if you have a strong enough why, your consistency will then increase. Because remember, consistency will die without a strong why. Set triggers up in your life to then actually attack the habits that get you closer to where you want to go. And you do this all by asking yourself simply, does this action or decision I'm about to take get me closer or further away from my goals? And why is that important? Consistency doesn't need to be a struggle, it's a choice. I gave you the tools, now use them and get off the roller coaster.